and from a country called Venezuela, or as we call it, hell. So yes, I come from a city called Caracas, and I moved here a year ago because everybody knows Europe is the place where dreams come true. So yes, I'm living the fantasy right now. I wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning, I take 3 buses, and I go to work to serve goddamn sandwiches for lunch. So yes, but I think I made it though. I'm standing here in front of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, the thing is, Mom, I made it. So I did. But the thing that sucks the most about my job is stupidity. I mean, let me put it like this. Everyone's stupid, right? Yes. Yes, but when it comes to Irish customers, it's like a special kind of stupid. So, I mean, I work in front of a construction, right? So there comes this guy covered in dust, smelling like cigarette, smelling like dust. Okay, I'm gonna stop here because it's kind of turning me on. And it says, "Hello, Irish breakfast, all please." Well, first I thought, sorry, was that English? And then I said to him, "No, we don't sell that." "Why?" "Well, why don't you shower more often?" So, in that way, there were 2 of us asking things that were none of our business. But I think there's a lot of acting involved in my job. For example, I have to pretend all day long I don't hate everybody. And I have a script. My boss told me, so whenever I want to say fuck off, I say, "Thank you, come back later." Another thing I don't like about being immigrant is being stereotyped. Stereotypes sucks. For example, there is Donald Trump. So he stands up in front of all American people saying, "We steal their jobs, we sell drugs, and we commit crime." And the worst thing, it's all that true. But what I can't stand is they are saying we are all stealing Irishmen. We don't date Irishmen for their looks or for their charm. It's for their passports. Hello. I bet inside those pants there is a big, huge, smooth European passport. I bet you do. So yes, also a hard thing for us is English language. It's confusing. For example, you have these verbs like to drive and to ride. I never know which one's the right one. For example, I was in the pub, so I came to the bar. I stand in front of the barman and say, "Hello, can I have whiskey and coke, please?" And suddenly all men around started gathering to pay for no reason at all. So finally I met this guy from Cork. He was lovely. And I decided, well, I'm going home with you, alright, whatever. I call the taxi and say, "Hello, I need a ride as soon as possible." The taxi comes in. We get into the taxi. We go to his place. we get into this room, and I give him the best drive of his life. For about 30 seconds. Yes, Peter, that's why you don't have a girlfriend. So, yes, I come from a place we call hell because of communism, but I think not everything's bad about communism. See, when you have communism in your country, you don't have to worry about the future, because there's none. So, thank you, come back later.
It's hard enough doing comedy in your own language. Try doing it in a different language, it's almost impossible. A whiskey and cock, I'm definitely going to ask for that the next time I'm in the room. I was saying that, like, you know, I'm from Dundrum, but the problem is, being from Dundrum, I can't live there anymore because my parents are still alive, right? This is a bit of a problem because they're still in the house. I mean, does anybody think, like, how, for example, is anyone still living at home, apart from Brian? Is anyone else still living at home? You're still living at home. How do you do it?
I'm almost moving out. I had to move back temporarily, and it's kidding.
Isn't it just the most wonderful walk of shame when you have to move back? It's like, hi, you know, clearly my life is going absolutely fucking wonderful. I'm just going to move all these shit into the box room, and I'll only be here a couple of weeks. When was that? A couple of years ago?
Jesus, yeah, last year.
Because, I mean, the last time I went home, my mother was on the phone. She was like, hello? Yeah, no, I want to buy a coffin. Yeah, I want to the right people. And then I come in the door, she said, close over that door. She goes, yeah. How much are they? 3,000 euro. Is that the mahogany ones? Yeah. And do you get the brass handles with that as well? 3,300 euro. Well, why didn't you say that in the beginning then? You know, and then she goes, come here you, make sure that door is closed. You wouldn't do a 2 for 1. And my fucking dad is sitting in the other room in the armchair. Now this is a classic Irish house. When you close the door, there's still an inch of a gap underneath. He can hear fucking everything, right? And she's there going, all right, so you don't do a 2 for 1, that's very unreasonable. Come here, do you do the cardboard coffins that look mahogany? Because he's not going to be using it for long. No. And I'm on the phone going, Jesus, he can fucking hear you. You know, she eventually gets off the phone and I said, what were you going to do with the coffin? For fuck's sake, what are you going to do with it? And she goes, oh Jesus, she says, I hadn't thought of that. Maybe we could use it as a coffee table. I said, you're going to serve him fucking tea on his own fucking coffin. Do you not think he's going to get the idea that maybe something's up? And I'm like, Jesus, that's ridiculous. And she says, oh, I suppose you're right, yeah, you might get it clued in. And she goes, oh, I tell you what, she says, your brother, the electrician, the successful one. She goes, yeah, we can put it in the good room, we can stand it up, put a few lights and shelves in and put the Waterford crystal. Yeah, that'd be, he'd never suspect it, hey? And I'm going, supposing the parish priest comes round for his, you know, his annual fee for the church. And so I carry your father, bring him into the good room, sitting down. Would you like a drop of whiskey? I would, yeah, that'd be marvellous, thanks very much. Fucking there you go, father, drink it. Won't be long, tell us about the afterlife. Yeah, it'd be just weird. So I was asking my father, I said, what's the story? Is she like this all the time? And he says, oh Jesus, you don't know the fucking half of it. Do you remember the full moon a couple of weeks ago there? He said, I woke up in the middle of the night, she was sitting on top of me. And the first thing I thought to myself was, is it my birthday? And the full moon was shining in the window, and she was silhouetted in the moonlight. She looked like Medusa. And he says, is it my birthday? And she looked down at him and she says, no, I'm measuring you.
Oh my god!
So he said he had to get out of there. He said he faked dementia a couple of years ago. It worked out there. So he was banged up in a nursing home within 2 weeks, and he was there very sad, going, "Don't leave me, don't leave me." She goes, "I'm only leaving you for the day. I'll be back tomorrow." As soon as she went out the door, he was like, fucking brilliant. So he had a can around the whole fucking nursing home, and he's like, I went to visit him. He's in there 4 years now, and I went up to him and I said, "How are you getting on?" And he said, "I should have gone for the 2 for 1." So ladies and gentlemen, you ready for your next act?
Yeah!
Let's start the Woman and Horror Show, ladies and gentlemen. This man is going to come a long way to be here. He's coming all the way from the back of the room. This man has a wonderful name. His name is Carol Sword. Please, a round of applause for Carol. Keep going, he's not here yet. Keep going. Here he is.
Thank you very much. Great to see you. Thanks for coming out. Great to have you all here. Little do they know I have no material at all. Just 7 or 8 minutes of shaking hands. The whole audience is. Everyone's going to be wanting their money back at the end, and I'm going to want to wash my hands with disinfectant. There we are. So look, I am Carol, and I'm just back. The people in the room who know me can testify to this very fact. I'm just back. I was doing a lot of writing and a bit of teaching while I was away, and now that I'm back, professionally speaking, I'm on the dole. So dole's a funny one though, isn't it? Because everyone's a bit, oh, I don't know about that. Because it's a bit of a stigma still associated with the dole. And I feel it myself sometimes, because I'd be going into the post office with a stamped addressed envelope to nobody in the particular, and I bring it up because I don't want anyone to think that I'm getting a payment. So I just slip that in, and there's this granny in Sligo town who's been getting empty envelopes from me for about 3 weeks at this stage. I don't know, maybe the next one I might send her something like a picture of a piece of fruit or something, I'm not quite certain. But because I'm just back, I'm also on the old Tinder, you know, trying to find a date, you know, get back in the dating scene. And you know, there's that little bit, you know, where you put your bio and, you know, a little joke, maybe something about yourself. And I just was very, very upfront about it. I said, now, I'm looking for something casual, sort of friends with benefits sort of situation. And what I mean by that, of course, is that I want someone that I can laugh with, and we can go to the post office together and pick our payments together. But yeah, no, look, this Tinder thing, I mean, I can totally appreciate the attraction for women, because if you don't like the look of them and you don't like their bio, you just swipe left and you never have to talk to them again. And I can see why this sort of thing has to happen, because myself, personally, I love to dance, absolutely love it. I'm out there on the dance floor shaking all I got, and I've noticed this very strange thing, this weird thing that women are doing. And when I'm out there, I'm dancing, and I'm there to dance, but then there's all these other coccicidal maniacs out there who are not looking to dance and who are just driven by their cock towards whatever woman happens to be in the area. And I can see what the women are doing. You kind of got this sort of lady huddle that you get into when they come across you, and you just, so the one that's been targeted kind of gets into the middle of the huddle, and then another woman pops out, and then the guy's all fucking confused, like malfunctioning RoboCop here, doesn't know what's happening anymore. And then if he doesn't get the idea, because to be honest, he probably doesn't, the ladies kind of start doing a bit of a dance kind of in a circle. So the guy's kind of following around like some sort of weird cock carousel kind of thing going on here. And then if he doesn't get that, which is also sometimes the case, it's just this sort of all the women just kind of disappear off the dance floor, like a maternal protective wind has just blown them the fuck away, and then there's just that guy just standing there on his own going like that. So I've got a solution, ladies and gentlemen, and that is the cock license. Now, you can't get your cock until you've done the test and you've shown yourself to be able to use it appropriately and with all due respect. So you can, now the one thing you could do maybe is when it's your 18th and your 21st or something, you can go rent a dick. Okay, you bring that out, but you must have a licensed cock holder with you at all times who will make sure that you don't do anything untoward or awkward or anything like that. Because you do see it, ladies and gentlemen, you see them out there and they're just talking. They should be just talking, right? Okay, they should have it fucking parked in neutral, but they're all revving up into fifth gear and fucking coughing and spluttering along. And that's just not on. So you got to, lads, everyone in the room, just get it into neutral and just fucking relax. But now, if you are lucky enough to get a man or a woman to go home with you, there is one sexual act that I have a little bit of an issue with. Now, it's nothing to do with the act itself, it's the name. It's name, and it's blowjobs and hand jobs. Okay, now the problem with that for me personally, I don't know about yourself, is it sounds very workmanlike, doesn't it? There's no art or finesse to blowjob or hand job, is there? What we need to change it to, and I'd hope you take this away with you tonight, is blowjoy and handjoy. I mean, it's just the one letter change, right? Dropping the B, dropping in a Y. Why? Because if you fucking are doing it, it should be pleasurable. It's not a fucking job, it's a calling. It's a vocation. So if you're going to take your clothes off, you might as well be fucking doing it properly. That's what I think, anyway. But if it does turn out that you can't get anyone to go home with you, and that does happen occasionally, there is the last refuge of the lecherous man, which is the pornography, isn't there, and on the internet. And what I've noticed with the porn on the old internet is that, for research purposes, obviously, that everyone looks very fucking angry, and everyone looks very frustrated, and that's supposed to be my job, because I'm looking at the thing, but everyone on the fucking film looks angry and frustrated too, and I'm wondering what that's about, and I think I've figured it out. I think it's because everyone's very, very uncomfortable. Because you got your legs splayed up in the air there on a kitchen countertop, or else you've been down on the hardwood floor or the marble tiles, and your knees are giving out to you, and you can't work everything and have that as well. So what I'm thinking is we need some more comfortable porn. So now when you're on your knees, a nice cushion or a rug or something to support your knees. You can't be down on there for 40 minutes or an hour and have these all sore. I mean, no, I don't know about you, but I find comfortable women very sexy. I think a comfortable person is far sexier than one who is not. So I would suggest nice rug, bit of cushion. If you're going to be on the cold floor, with your feet, get some socks and slippers as well. And if you're going to be up against the wall the whole time, protective pads, like sort of American football vest sort of thing, if you're going to be up against this the whole fucking time. So that's what I would suggest. Comfortable porn, and that would be it. Cardigan if you get cold, that's what but let's get our minds out of the gutter just for a minute. Before I left the last time, I was kind of doing a bit of computer admin for the Irish Defence Forces, and it's a bit sad, but I was just out there on the street the other day, and I saw a friend who actually was in the army, and he was looking really, really bad, and it turns out he had lost his job too. And he had been all over the world, but he had just been in Africa. And he told me that he had lost a job while he was out there because the child soldiers, they fucking took his job. Fucking took his job. They'll do it for half the price as him. And sometimes all they want is a shot of Pokemon Go. They'll take up a machine gun and just point it wherever you want. And here's him trying to feed his family, firing bullets, and they're taking the jobs from him. And I thought maybe what we could do was if we instituted sort of a height restriction kind of thing to the army. Worked for roller coasters. So you have to be this tall or higher in order to take up a gun and maim and kill and pillage and all that sort of jazz. So I don't know about that crew, I don't like that, all the children fighting and shooting, that's bad. Okay, well then, shall we move on so? What was I going to say? Well, yeah, I mean, it's hard being back here a little bit, and now that I've seen my friend and he's doing so badly as well, I'm so fucking tired of being poor. Just really, absolutely, I don't know what I'm going to do. If I ever have a family, the only way I'm going to be able to keep them going is if I can feed them on dust and day-old papers that I fish out of a bin. And that's the only way I can imagine doing it. And what I'm thinking is, come over here, you fucking, there you are now. And what I was thinking was, now, I imagine Fintom, this is the name of my son, and he'd be coming down the stairs, because he's going to school, isn't he? And I'd say now, Fintom, for lunch I've got you a lovely picture of an apple. There, put that now in your lunchbox and take that to school. And it'll be like, oh God, I don't know about that. And then, of course, there's always one of your kids, isn't there, that's going to be a really fucking picky eater, isn't there? And I can just imagine my one, Maeve, will be coming down and, well, she'll stay up in her room and I'll be like, now Maeve, come down here this minute and eat your picture of broccoli or you won't be getting any pictures of Haagen-Dazs for dessert. So, and then this all leads me to one of the last points, which is that I'm also, with all this poverty that's going on, that's all around us, I'm also very afraid of being burgled. I can just imagine a burglar coming in to my house and realizing there is nothing to rob, not a fucking thing. He'll come into the living room and he'll get in there and he'll just give up and he'll go away. And I can imagine my neighbours later on, they'll be gossiping about it. They'll be like, oh, you hear about Carew, yeah, lost. There was a burglar in his house, yeah, went into the living room, was looking to get something, and there was just a cutout of a stereo. A picture of a flat screen TV. But luckily, he didn't bother going upstairs, so the children's air guitars are okay. But look, folks, there's a simple solution to all this, and I think if we all join together, we might be able to get it. I'm thinking if we get ourselves some guns, these sort of bad boys right here. You don't need a 3D printer, folks, to make your own guns. Just a fucking pen and paper will do it. And if you'd all kind of with me on three, just say, Viva la Revolution. I think that's how we're going to start this thing out. So on three. 1, 2, 3. Viva la Revolution! Okay, thank you. You've been all absolutely beautiful. Have a lovely evening. Goodbye. Bye.
I'm so glad that went well. Otherwise, we would not have been the last picture we would have seen it from this evening. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've nearly done it. There's only one more act to go. Do you want to see the last act of the first half, ladies and gentlemen? That's not good enough. Are you looking forward to that? Don't get your hopes up. It's Rory McSherry, ladies and gentlemen. I got you nothing.
Right guys, how's it going?
Woo!
Are you all having a good night?
Yes!
I'm going to follow that up with the obligatory comedian response of, are you all having a good night?
Yes!
Perfect, we're drinking, it's a Tuesday, it's cool. So I should introduce myself. My name is Rory McSherry, and I'm many things. I'm a ginger, comedian, and poster child for euthanasia. And it's a bittersweet moment for me because I've recently turned 36 years old. Yeah, getting into the late 20s, or late 30s, but it's not so bad because in that time I've started to appreciate certain things a little bit more, like getting an erection, or a well-maintained lawn. You'd be surprised how often those two things go together. But in those 36 years, I've seen a lot of changes within the world as well, like the rise of internet and social media and all that kind of shit. And I've just observed how, the internet's taken over our lives. We've got, Tinder, Just Eat, and Pokemon Go Fuck Yourself. And the Mac Daddy of them all, which is of course Facebook. Now, when I was growing up, if you were getting poked, tagged, and having your wall written on a consistent basis, you weren't on Facebook, you were just in a bad fucking neighbourhood. And through the power of being an absolute cynical bastard, I have managed to compress all of Facebook into just 3 images, which I have for you tonight. But to do this, I require the help of a beautiful assistant who has already stood up. And this is in no way a plant. Patrick, would you like to come up? A round of applause to Patrick. Very good, very good. Good job, Patrick. Now all Patrick has to do is just turn the cards in the order they're in. Patrick, can you have that? Mm-hmm. Go team. Excellent. Now, if Facebook has taught us anything, it's, and it hasn't, it's that women love wine. And it's very important for the young, modern, millennial woman of today to express her love of wine. So, of course, we have number one, which is Patrick. Yeah, go team. Which is 2 glasses of wine perched on a table with the tagline, "Night out, me girlies, whoop whoop, smiley face, party emoji." Now, I don't know if it's necessary to chronicle your descent into alcoholism. It kind of has the same logic for me as a chronic masturbator putting up a picture of a box of Kleenex going, "Night in with the Pornhub." Shaky hand, pear fruit, smiley face explosion emoji. Next one, Patrick. You can dump that. Good job. Excellent. You should really turn them over before you take them. Fuck's sake. Just start them over? There we go. So it'll be a complete surprise to you now. Now the next one is pretty much the height of clickbait bollocksology. It is, of course, Patrick. This time do properly. The 1 share equals 1 prayer. Sick child. You know, little Timmy was born with 2 dicks on his head. And you've got to like it and type it and share it in a minute. Or you're going to go straight to hell and you're going to have 10 years bad luck. Because that's what sick people need. They don't need any kind of meaningful support or any kind of donations. They need more fucking likes and shares. "Oh, I'm sorry, Mrs. Thompson. Little Susie can't have her heart operation. I'm afraid she was just 20 likes short of a heart bypass." Sucks to be you, Susie. You may remove that. Well done, now we're learning. Yes. Now the next one, ladies and gentlemen, I need to compose myself for a moment for because the anger is so great. Patrick, the inspirational quote person. You know, it's all this bullshit written in calligraphy. Patrick, could you turn it over? Thank you. The inspirational quote person. And it's all this bullshit written in calligraphy on a background of fucking clouds and stars with stuff written like, "You're not single. Just haven't found your flower yet." or "Don't wait for a perfect moment. Take a moment. Make it perfect." And it's, you know, it's like sitting in the waiting room of a guidance counsellor's office. I'd actually would pay more attention to stuff that's more based in reality, like, "Hey, it's okay to settle." Or aspirations. "Look, lads, if everybody's going to follow the dream, who's going to collect the bins?" Patrick, you may drop that and you may remove yourself from the floor. Round of applause. But it's also a dangerous place to live, the internet, because all these Facebook challenges now, you know, you've got the Eat a Cactus challenge, the Fuck a Panda challenge, and you tag them on the challenge, and they do that challenge, and the challenge keeps going on around forever. And the worst one I had ever seen was the condom challenge. Now this is where people actually got condoms, put them over their heads, blew into them, bursting out the reservoir tip, leaving a nice little condom necklace around their necks, you know? I know, I was as surprised as you were. And now I know why millennials are referred to as Generation Y. Because half the time I'm left wondering why. Why the fuck would you put that up on the internet and make yourself the literal personification of a dickhead? Like, I don't think they realise, you know, what would happen if this went wrong? You know, oh, well, at least Billy died the way he lived. Suffocating on latex while his friends watched. Thank you. But internet dating is cool. You know, when you look like the gay lad out of Modern Family, it's a tough fucking sell, you know what I mean? But you've all these things now. You've got, you know, Plenty of Fish and Tinder and dataginger.com. Don't laugh about it, because it's actually, I've heard that ginger men make the best lovers. And there's a reason behind it. Hey, now you speak from experience. Patrick, you're a lucky man. Because I think we get sex so infrequently, we have to treat each time like it's our last. It's really really give it the beans. But thank you. But I don't think men have really caught up to internet dating yet, because I was asking a few women, what were your opinions of internet dating? And they summed it up in 2 words for me. And they said, dick pics. Dick pics. And I thought to myself, well, when in the history of the internet has this ever worked? Where a woman who's, lonely, as we all are, looking for a bit of romance, a bit of companionship, looked at another man's yogurt thing and went, yes, that's it. That's the one for me. That's the kind of cock I can show to the parents. Oh, plenty's a friendly one, this one. And to be honest with you, I'd be very confused the other way around. They'd be like, why is this woman showing a picture of the inside of a red pepper? I feel dirty even saying it. But that's it, guys. I've been Rory McSherry, and you've been an audience. Thank you so much.
Yes, and then finally we had the wonderful, the only Rory McSherry, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you very much. What we're going to do now is have a 2-minute break for 3 minutes, so we'll see you back in 10. Right? Thanks very much, guys. We'll see you in a few seconds. Cheers. Thank you.
Walk, it's better.
Okay,
Get a drink. It'll be much funnier in the second half. Get them into you. Yeah, you're
That's good. How are you doing? All time.